What's up, guys? In order for me to make sure that I have a successful bench day, I have to start with mental preparation. And I'm going to give you a quick checklist of things that I look out for whenever I'm getting ready to bench. First, we're going to start with foot placement. We always want to make sure that our feet are behind our knees. That gives us leverage for leg drive. Also, we want to talk about hand placement. To each his own. Everybody has to choose their own hand placement. And third, we want to talk about making sure we retract our lats. We keep our back pinched.
A successful bench presser is going to have a mental checklist. Maddox just went over his checklist, and mine is ultimately very similar. We have to get the feet placement correctly. We have to get the core locked in. We have to get the glutes firing. We have to get the hands in the right position. And all of this comes by doing it over and over and over again exactly the way you want it done. And that mental checklist creates great results. If you're doing things differently all the time and you don't have this structure of a thought process of how to train or how to set up on a competition lift, it gets very complex, because when you go to a competition or you're actually going to max, a lot of times a lot of us go into fight or flight. We start to black in and out. Yeah. We start to have all these issues. Well, if you're doing everything by checklists, it becomes much, much more grounded to give you a better shot at hitting bigger weights.
So, pro tip, always make sure that the weight is even on each side. Really? Again? Again?
Now, another big thing that we want to work on, if you want a big pro tip, is take the same handout from the same guy. So what Maddox is doing is coming up here, and we're actually handing out to him the exact same way with the exact same coaching every time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how he likes to set himself up. So he likes to scooch and get his body loaded. So he kind of wiggles his feet around. I know he pulls his body back a little bit, and then he locks himself back in. So this is all the stuff that he does, and I'm watching that. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to hold that bar against the J-hook and make sure he gets his hands perfectly set. So that way if he's moving around, he cannot move that bar. Now once he's locked and set and his hands are squeezed, then what he's going to do is usually he's going to take a big breath or give me a slight nod, and then I'm going to lift it out, control it until he starts to fight me a little bit, and I'm going to slowly and evenly release. Now what you don't want to do is when I got it, you don't want to just go like this. You want to actually slowly release so the pressure is even on both sides. Now the reason you want to do that is because this left and right side, if you got somebody like Maddox that's benching 800 pounds, an offset can mess his shoulder up forever. And if you're a lighter guy, say 150 pounds trying to bench 300, it's going to be the same amount of pressure on your joint body weight wise. So this handout is super important to making sure that it's equal, it's even, and it's steady to give him a better chance of benching and do it safer. So today we went over the third installment of the bench press and setting up some key things for you to be good at bench pressing. 1, have cues. Go through a checklist of what you're doing. 2, take the same handout from the same person that knows your coaching, knows your technique, and knows when you're doing something wrong. If I'm watching Maddox go to the right or go to the left, it might mean that we need to warm up this left or this right shoulder a little bit more. It might mean a lot of different things if I'm a good coach. The point is, if you're getting handouts from different people all the time, they don't know what your natural technique looks like. They could be giving you hard or soft handouts. It could cause a lot of problems. So make consistency in your main lift, and that's going to help a lot.
All these variables are huge for breaking world records. So you have to understand this process takes time, and you'll get better at it as time goes. You have to trust the process.